Here we are at Unit 6, Avoiding Run-Ons, which is also a grammatical error that many students struggle with. So let's talk about what a run-on is and how to correct it when we do so. A run-on occurs when two sentences are improperly connected together. So a common misconception is that a run-on has to be a really long sentence. Not really true. A sentence can be really long as it's properly punctuated. Most run-ons actually occur because writers either forget the end punctuation or try to use a comma to join the sentences. So let's look and see some examples of run-ons and how to correct them. How do we get a run-on? The first way is lack of punctuation. We have the contestant hesitated, the buzzer sounded. Notice we have two separate subjects, two separate verbs. Contestant hesitated, buzzer sounded. When that happens, we really have two separate sentences. The other way we can do is by adding a comma, but just the comma by itself. A comma is not strong enough to connect two sentences. Remember from Unit 4, we have to have a comma and a coordinating conjunction. So here we have the comma splice. The judge entered the courtroom. Judge, subject, entered, verb. Everyone rose. Everyone, subject, rose, verb. Again, two separate subjects, two separate verbs. The comma is not strong enough to hold those two things together. So how do we fix it? A couple different ways. The first way is simply use a period. The judge entered the courtroom. Period, everyone rose. Great, no problem. We could also add the fanboys word with our comma. The judge entered the courtroom, comma, so everyone rose. Or if we want to use a semicolon, as we discussed in our last unit on compound sentences, the judge entered the courtroom, semicolon, everyone rose. Or we could use a transition word with our semicolon. The judge entered the courtroom, semicolon, thus, comma, everyone rose. So those are all the different ways to fix a run-on. Very, very simple. And I tell students, think about what other type of sentences you have around that sentence and try to do a variety. So if you notice in your sentences you have lots of little simple sentences, then you probably don't want to use a period. You might want to use something else. If you have a lot of comma coordinating conjunctions, then maybe try a transition word. But if you tend to use this sentence type a lot, try something more simple. So always think about that variety with your sentence structure. Here you're going to go ahead and look at background knowledge, define it, and tell the two common causes. And then you're going to identify, is it a run-on or is it correct? The different examples there, and then of course write your own sentences. So go ahead and practice run-ons in Unit 6, and I will see you in Unit 7 with commas.